Hello, welcome to the latest episode of The Exchange, brought to you by the New York Stock Exchange. I'm your host, Douglas Jonas. As a reminder, today's interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE does not recommend investments or investment strategies. I'm joined today by my friend, Spencer Logan. He is a director and investment strategist for Harbor Capital Advisors. Spencer, thank you so much for joining us today.
Douglas, great to be back with you.
So I want to talk to you about one of your new ETFs. We call it HGER, HGER, kind of an easy ticker symbol to remember. What inspired the creation of the Harbor all-weather inflation-focused ETF?
Yeah, it's great to identify where these organic stories came from, Doug. And Harbor really has a long track record of bringing best-of-breed solutions to the marketplace. And currently, investors are seeking innovative ways to protect their portfolios against inflation risk. So as a way to bring a compelling solution to the market, we partnered with Quantex Commodities, which is a specialized commodities boutique that has assembled a team of pioneers in the commodity space. The team worked for more than 20 years together at one of the most preeminent commodities trading houses in the world. They developed innovative ways to provide solutions for clients that improved upon the traditional commodities benchmarks that investors typically had accessible to them. So this is exactly what Quantex is doing now with us in their creation of HGER. So in just under a little more than 2 years after starting Quantex, the pedigree that has allowed them to raise and manage approximately $1.5 billion with a focus on developing strategies that will redefine the industry standards for commodities investing.
So commodities are certainly making headlines right now. What is it you think that HGER separates itself as an ETF from other commodity-based strategies?
Well, with HGER, we believe that we're introducing the new industry benchmark for how to hedge inflation risk using the highly liquid commodities futures markets as our vehicle. Whereas commodities futures overall provide some inflation protection, HGER has a higher sensitivity to inflation by allocating more to commodities that display the strongest relationship to it, particularly during periods of elevated and high inflation like we're currently experiencing. This is what separates HGER significantly from more broad-based commodities indices, which has some structural flaws and results in inflation protection when you need it the most.
How's Harbor Capital talking to your clients about ways to protect themselves from an inflationary market?
Investors have several asset class options for hedging against inflation risk, such as Treasury inflation protected securities or TIPS, REITs, energy and material equities, physical commodities, and then, of course, what we're talking about today is commodities futures. Our research has shown that commodities futures provide the highest sensitivity to inflation relative to these other asset classes. And they also don't suffer from some of the other risks that are embedded in those other asset classes that are commonly used as inflationary hedges. So, for example, in 2021, Treasury inflation protected securities saw significant inflows from investors looking to protect their portfolios from the threat of inflation, but found themselves experiencing negative real returns, whereas commodities realized record gains.
We have a lot of investors, a lot of advisors following New York Stock Exchange, watching these episodes. For the investors out there, why should they consider investing in HGER?
Absolutely. And it's not just about inflation protection. And commodities futures can provide additional benefits in even more benign inflationary environments as well. So commodity futures and HGER in particular can provide a diversification benefit for client portfolios. Historically, commodities have demonstrated low levels of correlation relative to other asset classes like equities and fixed income. So where this benefit really comes through is during periods where equities and fixed income exhibit positive correlations, like more recently where equities and bonds have been under pressure and commodities continue to march higher. It's during these times when investors need diversification the most, and HGER is there to deliver it. And as we continue to experience the fallout effects from the pandemic with supply chain disruption, tight labor markets, and geopolitical instability, we're confident that HGER can deliver the results investors need now and for the future.
Now, as a reminder, if you're catching Spencer live and you want to learn more about other Harbor Capital Advisors ETFs, you can find it on our website, homeofetfs.com. You can find additional ETF thought leadership, additional information about the markets, all again at our website, homeofetfs.com. brought to you by the New York Stock Exchange, the home of ETFs.